Breaking news! The atmosphere is tense, the plays are thrilling, but behind the scenes, there's drama, injuries, and changes being made that could propel this team to the Super Bowl or completely derail it before Week 1 even begins. And let's be real, Chris Grier should have been fired a long time ago, but he's still here, making the kind of safe, cautious changes that drive fans crazy. And yet, something feels different this time, almost desperate, as if the Dolphins know they can't waste this window. But is it too late? Before we begin, if you're a true Dolphins fan who bleeds teal and orange, hit that like button right now. And if you've been loyal to this team for over 20 years, I want you to leave a comment. Go, Dolphins! My heart bleeds teal and orange. Now, brace yourself, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just about big plays or touchdowns. It's about two injuries that could reshape the entire defense, new signings that might not be enough, and a quarterback who's sending a clear message with every pass. This is his year. And here's the kicker. There's breaking news coming out of training camp that no one expected, and it could be the biggest sign yet that Miami is panicking behind the scenes. Are these the right decisions, or are we watching another Grier disaster unfold in real time? Let's go. Now, let's get to the breaking developments from training camp because a lot went down. Day 4 was packed with action, big plays, and, unfortunately, injuries that could force Miami's hand in the coming days. The Dolphins made a significant move by signing starting caliber cornerback Jack Jones, who spent last season with the Raiders. Is he elite? No. He's not Rasul Douglas or Asante Samuel Jr., but he's a solid addition, especially after what happened today. Even bigger, as I was going through this, news broke that the Dolphins also signed former Bengals corner Mike Hilton to a 1-year deal. This is no coincidence. Miami is stacking up at corner because injuries are piling up. The biggest concern right now is Kader Kohou. He went down defending Tyreek Hill during practice and walked off with a limp. There's no official word yet on the severity, but he's done for the day, and everyone is holding their breath hoping it's nothing major. B.J. Adams also left the field struggling to walk after a tough pass play, making it two corners dealing with injuries in one day. These moves for Jones and Hilton feel like insurance policies, and they needed to be. Despite the injury concerns, there were highlights on the field. Tua Tagovailoa looked sharp, connecting with Andrew Armstrong and A.J. Henning for touchdowns and later ripping a 60-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill, who smoked Ethan Bonner on the play. Tua also hit Jalen Waddle on multiple 20-yard bullets, showing that chemistry between them is as strong as ever. On defense, Minkah Fitzpatrick made a spectacular interception, flashing the kind of playmaking that can change games. Rookie Jason Marshall Jr. also recorded the first interception by a Dolphins corner at camp, which has fans excited about his potential. The battles in the trenches were intense as well. Jordan Brooks looked fast and aggressive, Channing Tindall made stops in the backfield, and Benito Jones recorded a sack on Tua with interior pressure. But it wasn't all defense. Devin Achane continued to show his explosive speed, slipping past defenders for big gains, and Tanner Conner delivered a highlight reel pancake block downfield on Kendall Sheffield. Even Zach Wilson, who's still adjusting to the playbook, connected multiple times with Dwayne Eskridge, hinting at developing chemistry. But the real storyline isn't just the plays, it's the looming roster moves. With Fitzpatrick and Zach Sealer now represented by Drew Rosenhaus, contract extensions are likely on the way. That could free up cap space for more signings, and with these cornerback injuries, don't be surprised if Miami isn't done adding talent. The defense is making plays, the offense is connecting on big shots, but depth remains a serious concern, especially in the secondary. If Kohou's injury lingers, the Dolphins will have no choice but to stay aggressive in free agency. And here's where things get even more intriguing, Dolphins fans. The buzz around camp isn't just about the plays we're seeing on the field, it's about the tension building behind the scenes. With two corners already limping off and the depth chart shaking, this is exactly the kind of situation that could define whether Miami is a legitimate Super Bowl contender or just another team that collapses under pressure. Jack Jones and Mike Hilton are solid additions, but let's not kid ourselves, these are stopgap moves, not blockbuster fixes. If Kader Kohou's injury turns out to be more serious, Chris Grier has no excuses left. He's been given time, way too much time, and yet here we are relying on emergency signings instead of having a fully loaded roster ready to dominate. Fans are frustrated because this team feels so close to being elite, yet management continues to make just enough moves instead of bold, aggressive ones. On the field, though, you can't deny the energy. Minkah Fitzpatrick looked like a man possessed, not just making that jaw-dropping interception but also forcing a fumble that he recovered himself. His presence at camp screams leadership, and you can sense he's hungry for a deep playoff run. Having Rosenhaus in his corner now could fast-track his extension, and honestly, locking him in long-term is a no-brainer. If Miami can work out cap space through those extensions, the door for another splash signing could open, and that's what this team desperately needs right now. Offensively, Tua is playing like a quarterback with something to prove. Those deep connections to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle weren't just routine passes, they were laser-precise, perfectly timed throws that show his confidence is at an all-time high. The chemistry with Waddle is undeniable, and that 60-yard strike to Tyreek, that's the kind of play that terrifies defenses and reminds everyone why this Dolphins offense can be explosive when firing on all cylinders. Even Devin Achane is showing signs he could be a breakout star, weaving through defenders with ridiculous acceleration that's impossible to teach. But here's the flip side, and it's something fans need to be honest about. There are cracks. The offensive line struggled in moments, with the second-team unit getting completely overwhelmed, described bluntly as booty cheeks by Omar Kelly, and that's against our own pass rush. What happens when we face top-tier playoff defenses? And while Zach Wilson is showing flashes, he's also still throwing interceptions, and rookie Quinn Ewers is clearly adapting to NFL speed. These growing pains are fine for camp, but come regular season, we need consistency. The next few days could be critical. Miami has a day off, then comes back with pads on the 29th, and that's when the real evaluation begins. Are the corners we just signed going to hold up under pressure? Can Tua keep this high level of play when the pass rushers are allowed to hit for real? And, maybe the biggest question hanging over everything, will Chris Grier finally make the aggressive move that pushes this team over the top, or is he going to keep playing it safe until it's too late? And the drama keeps building, Dolphins fans, because what we're seeing right now feels like the turning point of this entire season before it even starts. Training camp is supposed to be about fine-tuning, about building chemistry and getting ready for week one, but for Miami, it's already about survival. 2 injured corners in one day is not just bad luck, it's a warning sign. And if Chris Grier doesn't act decisively, this could be the first domino to fall in what should be a Super Bowl run. Fans have been saying it for years. Grier plays too safe, too conservative, and that's why this team hasn't taken the final step. Signing Jack Jones and Mike Hilton is decent, sure, but these are band-aids, not the kind of moves that put fear into elite offenses like the Chiefs or the 49ers. If this was a front office that really wanted to win now, we'd already be hearing rumors of trade talks for a true shutdown corner, not just depth pieces. And honestly, if this team falls short again, it will be because of decisions like this. Meanwhile, the players are leaving it all on the field. The energy in camp has been electric, with highlights coming from every unit. Tua is commanding the offense like a veteran who knows this is his year to silence all the doubters. The way he threaded that 20-yard bullet to Waddle while rolling out under pressure was vintage Tua, calm, quick release, perfect placement. And that 60-yard bomb to Tyreek? That wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. Tyreek burned Ethan Bonner so badly that it had fans cheering like it was a real game. And don't overlook Andrew Armstrong and A.J. Henning, 2 names who are quietly making plays and building chemistry with Tua, which could add even more weapons to this already explosive offense. But while the offense is shining, the defense is answering right back. Minkah Fitzpatrick might be having one of the best camps of any player right now. That interception he snagged, contorting his body midair, wasn't just athletic, it was elite-level instinct. And let's not forget Jason Marshall Jr., the rookie corner who came up with the first interception by a Dolphins corner in camp. If Miami can develop this kid fast, he could be the wild card that helps stabilize the secondary while we wait on Kohu. Jordan Brooks is also looking like a beast, flying around the field and making plays in the backfield, while Benito Jones continues to wreck the pocket with interior pressure.